Ashley with Prestige Curb Appeal. We do residential and commercial pressure washing. We do everything from roofs, houses, and driveways. Commercial-wise, we do shopping centers, parking lots, everything, you name it. It really helps and makes you feel good and increases the property value. Give me a call, 865-621-1004. We'd love the opportunity to give you a quote, come out and see your house, even look at your driveway.
And if you get a chance to use John Ashley, I recommend it because it makes your house look so good, and it does improve the looks and your property value. We had our house done, and it absolutely looks amazing. So if you get a chance, give him a call this summer because it really makes a difference on your house. All right, happy hump day, everybody. We got Julie, Linda, Tina. We got a lot of folks on here already this morning. Aaron, Brian, Deborah, Christy. Happy hump day. We got the camel up there, and you know we got Ed Rupp coming up as well. Be talking about some Witcher's adventures, and we're talking about much more of the same today from what we saw yesterday. High heat, chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could become strong to severe, locally heavy rainfall, slow movers. Some of you will get doused with rain, and some of you, maybe not so much. But either way you slice it and dice it, it's going to be a scorcher once again. Did you catch, see if I can get more words out, that beautiful sunrise taking shape here this morning? We'll show you that here in a second, but I've got a great time lapse from yesterday. I want to take you to Fox Road Marina yesterday, and again, you can see how the atmosphere was nice and quiet. Folks were out on the water, plenty of sunshine. And then here we go, the storms. The storms are developing across the mountains, and then the outflow boundary moved its way into West Knoxville, pretty much right where this camera was. Well, the camera is actually pointed just to the south of the storm. The storm was actually just over Farragut and just like along Interstate 40 and north of Interstate 40. I was watching that one yesterday for sure. It was crazy. But these storms will just kind of, they'll just kind of rain themselves out. They develop. We don't have a lot of upper level winds, and they just kind of rain themselves out. So if you get a storm, it's probably going to sit on you until it rains out, and that's going to produce some locally heavy rainfall. How about this beautiful sunrise in Anderson County this morning? An absolutely gorgeous start to the day. Good morning, Rick. How are you this morning, man? I haven't talked to you for a while. You knew we already had Ed. Excuse me, Carcane. You knew we already had Ed Rupp in our minds. Absolutely. How could you not? I don't know why that camera's not showing up here. We'll get this camera showing up again just to be... There we go. Nope, it's not going to show up. I don't know why it's working. Gremlins here this morning, I suppose, but we'll move right along in the forecast, so don't mind that blank screen right above us. Maybe I can get it up and running here just so you have it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's talk about numbers yesterday. I always like to kind of keep us all in check, and really ultimately it just keeps me in check and keeps me... See, I'm telling you, gremlins this morning. Where'd they all go? There we go. We'll get it back. All right, here we go. So I told you I had some issues yesterday, as you knew. But anyways, we made it to 96 degrees yesterday. What was I forecasting? Anybody remember? Anybody? Go. Bueller. I was forecasting 96 degrees yesterday. So not bad. Nailed that one. But we didn't pick up any rainfall at McGee-Tyson Airport. We didn't pick up any rainfall officially at any of the reporting stations here around town. And so that led, oopsies, we need those lights. I almost just turned the lights off on myself. Can't do that. But anyways, we are going to be in for much more of the same as we progress through time, as this little waves of energy and high pressure brings us a lot of energy. We get a lot of unstable air. When I say unstable air, that just means like the air will rise. It's buoyancy in the atmosphere. Buoyancy. What's buoyancy, right? But that basketball in the deep end, you let it go, and it's going to rise freely on its own, just race up to the top of the water. That's what our atmosphere does, and that's exactly what we will have in store for the day today. So we could see some hail. We could see some locally heavy rainfall, quite a bit of lightning showing up with those storms as well. I got a text message from my good friend Buck yesterday. He sent me a screen grab of his phone. He goes, incredible amounts of heat lightning yesterday or today. I was like, Buck, there's no such thing as heat lightning. It's just lightning off in the distance that you just can't hear the thunder. That's all heat lightning is. All right, our ridge of high pressure is dominating the weather pattern. This is the big story. Above and beyond the storms that we may see throughout the day today, it's the heat. All of East Tennessee is now under a heat advisory, except for the Smoky Mountains, except for the mountains of East Tennessee and North Carolina. So, of course, the higher in elevation you go, you're not going to have to contend with that the heat index so much. And if you can go to the top of Mount LeConte, you might get away from some of this extreme humidity. I said it yesterday. If you fly in an airplane, you fly out of it, you can see that little haze of humidity. This morning, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s, which, by the way, with dew points in the 60s and 70s, some of us are a little bit cooler than yesterday, but some of us are a little bit warmer than what we were yesterday. All right, your forecast for the day today, again, a wash, rinse, repeat. 91 degrees by noon, heat index value pushing the mid to upper 90s by lunchtime, so incredibly hot there. Mid 90s here this afternoon, and so with forecast highs in the mid to upper 90s, that is once again going to put our heat index value pushing 105 degrees, which is heat advisory criteria. I was out driving around yesterday. I saw some roofers. I saw a crew of roofers yesterday in the peak heating of the day. And I was just like, oh man. I mean, it's just hot for us to be outside if you don't have an outdoor job like that, right? Roofers. I mean, think about all the construction workers. I mean, just give them a break if you possibly can. If you have folks working on your house, if you see some construction workers, maybe just go offer them some water. Say, hey guys, you need some water, man? This is just too hot to be outside, but they have to keep going. And the roofers have to keep going. A very unfortunate situation. A friend of ours was actually getting their roof replaced from the tornado 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Been dealing with insurance. They finally were getting it replaced, and they didn't finish it yesterday. And guess what? They live in West Knoxville. They got that storm yesterday, and their house is now destroyed, flooded. Terrible. Terrible. So you got to give these roofers got to get their jobs done. I get it. They've got an extremely hot job, and hopefully they can get it done before the rains come on in. All right, so rainfall accumulation. I want to show you this from yesterday here. The reason why is because you can see clearly who got the rain and who didn't get the rain. And notice that little tiny blip right there in the center of your screen where, well, we had that one little lonely storm in West Knoxville, but we had the flash flood warnings. We had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings across the mountain counties. So that's something that could take place again throughout the day today. I do want to point this out for you, though. Now, it's just a little tiny sliver of an area, but it does include the mountains of East Tennessee. And the reason why I want to highlight this is because we had heavy rain there yesterday. We potentially could see heavy rain again today. So the Weather Prediction Center has just skimmed the very peaks of the Smoky Mountains for a flash flood risk. Now think about the mountains, right? You got the peaks of the mountains. We get a lot of flash flooding sometimes in the mountain counties because all that water that hits the top of the mountains has to come down. And so keep that in mind. If you're joining us from the national park, if you want to be in the national park today, flooding and flash flooding could be a concern if the storm develops there and just sits there and rains and rains and rains. Just like yesterday, we do have a risk for some severe storms. I think we'll have some outflow boundaries kind of swinging on through the area that will help to spark off the storm. So again, this is just model guidance. Don't take this to heart because, again, we had that one little lonely storm in the valley, but it's picking up on some of that activity. It's picking up on some. Let me go back to that. Let me just start this over. We'll go slow. So here we go. We'll pick up our timeline at noon. There's 2 right there. So notice West Knoxville again. Morgan County, Cumberland, Campbell County. And then the Smoky Mountains, we'll start to see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. You can see by 3, 4 o'clock today, we'll start to see some of those storms fire up. And again, those could throw some outflow boundaries our way, which may spark some storms off in other locations. We've got incredible amounts of moisture. I took some notes here this morning. Let's see, where are my notes? Here we go. So one thing that we look at when we talk about rainfall or the intensity of the rainfall is called precipitable water. How much water can we precipitate out of the atmosphere if we can actually precipitate it all out? And we look at that number as guidance to give us a flash flood warning guidances and stuff like that. But it also helps us, lets us know how much rain could actually potentially fall. Our precipitable waters today are anywhere from 1.6 to 1.8-ish. That's extremely high. It doesn't sound high, but when you're talking meteorology, that is extremely high. And so that means you're going to have gully washers. CAPE, convective available potential energy, buoyancy, energy, instability in the atmosphere. That's what I talk about. We're running anywhere from about 2,500 to 3,500 joules per kilogram. That is extremely high and a lot of fat buoyancy. So if those storms get going and get past a certain part of the atmosphere, they're just going to explode. One thing that I love seeing about summertime storms, and I'll keep going with the forecast here in a second, but One thing that I absolutely love as a meteorologist is I love seeing those little fingers. You can see the little convection layers in the atmosphere. I was trying to teach my kids yesterday. See those little fingers in the atmosphere? Those are little rising parcels of air because you heat the surface of the earth, just like boiling a pot of water. You don't get bubbles everywhere. There are little individual bubbles that are bubbling up different places where you have differential heating. Differential heating. That's what happens. You get differential heating across the surface of the earth, creating those little bubbles. And if those little bubbles can get just past that certain layer, then the buoyancy takes place and they explode. And so that's what we could see again throughout the day today. Plus, we could see the potential of about 1/2 inch diameter hail, and the wind in the atmosphere like yesterday is just, it's non-existent. It's slow moving because that ridge of high pressure is on top of us. So we don't have a lot of upper level winds to move the storms. And so therefore, they're just going to kind of rain themselves out. All right. A little bit of, there we go. Eva says, Cott County had some bad storms last night. They did. Lots of trees down in Newport. Again, a quick little shower in Alcoa after I stood out there watering all my flowers. I know we got some pretty good rain. We watered our flowers before we left yesterday as well. Good morning, Cameron. How are you this morning? All right. So again, don't take the exact location of the rainfall to heart. It's just a model guidance, but the general idea is there, just like yesterday. Some of you will get some rain and some of you won't get rain. All right, let's continue our heat discussion because the heat's still going to be with us, okay? And we're going to continue our rain discussion as well, just on the broader picture. So 105 for a heat index value today, 103 tomorrow, and still near 100 degrees Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Welcome to summer in the southeast. Incredible heat, incredible humidity. Now, the heat will start to come down, but the humidity is going to be increasing a little bit as we get into the weekend. We're talking dew points in the 70s. So we're gradually increasing that chance for coverage of showers and thunderstorms as we wrap up the week and head into the upcoming weekend. But I wouldn't cancel any outdoor plans. All right, so when we look at our severe weather risk across the big picture, a lot of folks do travel for vacations. If you are going to be taking a vacation here and maybe traveling to the southeast, keep in mind you could see some afternoon severe storms today, tomorrow, and even here locally as well on Friday into Saturday. So again, for the rest of the week, we have a risk for isolated, strong, or severe storms. Let me explain the big picture because this is what's going on. Okay, I'm going to open this up and go slow. So, okay, there's our ridge of high pressure, okay? Right over East Tennessee. We have a mid-level low pressure, upper-level low, basically, that's going to be swinging its way from Florida. It's not tropical. National Hurricane's not doing anything with it, but around that ridge of high pressure, you get little pieces of energy, and I've got little pieces of energy superimposed on there. You can't see it underneath that ridge, but we got a little piece of energy that's going to be kind of swinging in throughout the day today, and that's what's going to spark off the storms. But watch as this low tracks its way northward. High pressure is going to be shifting its way to the southeast into the Atlantic. High pressure, you get clockwise rotation. Low pressure, you get counterclockwise, right? So because we have high pressure north of low pressure, and that's going to allow for a little bit of a funnel effect. You can see how the wind is, because you get that little funnel effect across the southeast, that's going to help to pump in more moisture. And as this low tracks its way northward as we wrap up the week, that's what's going to bring us elevated rain chances by the end of the week. Now, just broad brushing it with the American model, I mean, generally speaking, about 1/2 inch for probably most of us. But of course, some of you may get a lot more than that if you get the convective thunderstorms today and tomorrow. All right, let's talk about that 7-day forecast, shall we? Pretty much have seen it when I showed you the heat index values, but whoa, hey, what's going on here? Yeah, just things are all screwy this morning. The gremlins are back. We'll just come back to that view. How about that? All right, so low 90s. Now, do we drop down into the low 80s on Wednesday? No, that's actually not true. Don't go. That's supposed to be 88, not 83. That's a missed typo on my part. Sorry about that. So next Tuesday, not 83, but let's go 88 degrees. Okay. Showers and thunderstorms, elevated rain as we wrap up the weekend, head into the weekend. Just plain hot summertime weather. We've got this solid stretch of 90s. Remember, every year we get about 30-ish days of 90 degrees or hotter. We've had a solid stretch. Hopefully, we'll probably cool down a little bit. Then we'll probably get another solid stretch. But above and beyond the 7-day forecast, July 1st through the 5th, we're still trending above average. And then the 3rd through the 9th, maybe about average-ish. Rainfall amounts from the Weather Climate Prediction Center, probably elevated for the first week of July, and then maybe just a little bit more. Still trending a little bit elevated, but the signals aren't quite as strong. Whew, lots to talk about. It's 6:17. Geez, I'm so sorry about that. Well, you're welcome, Julie. I hope you enjoy the. I like to teach you. I mean, this is the platform to teach you. I can give you, if you want just the basic forecast, you don't want to talk about discussions, you don't want me to dive into more details, you can just go watch the daily forecast with the East Tennessee weather app and your daily forecast weather updates. But I like to teach everybody about how things work, how things play out, why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking, due to the fact that meteorology is cool. But guess what? It's Wednesday. Shall we say good morning to Ed Rupp? I think we shall, my friends.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
And now we can move right along with those national holidays for the day. Good morning, Ed Rupp. How are you, my friend? Boy, I love seeing you on my Wednesday morning. Just a nice sight to see. Show you another beautiful live view from, let's take you to, this is a good one. This is always a good one. KMNV, Monroe County Airport. That's not going to work anyway. Yeah, there it goes. Beautiful sunrise taking shape. We've got a few clouds hanging out with us this morning. Not a big deal, but a nice sunrise to get the day started. Let's see if these buttons work. There we go. All right, today's national holidays. It is June 25th. My goodness gracious, July 4th is like right around the corner. Wow, it's just too hot. Yes, it is. So try to cool. Ice cream days, right? So we're celebrating birthdays and events here today. It's National Parchment Day. Anybody use parchment paper? Parchment paper is one of those weird cooking things that you're like, I can put this in the oven, wrap things up, and cook some awesomeness, and it doesn't really burn. Every once in a while it'll burn, but parchment papers are great kitchen, what would you call that? Not a kitchen tool. A kitchen, what would you call parchment paper? I don't even know what you call it. A kitchen thing. Let's call it a thing. How about that? It's National Strawberry Parfait Day. I mean, I love me a good strawberry parfait. You with me? Or, throw some, I don't do it a lot. I did it for a while, but some chia seed parfait. But just yogurt, granola, fresh fruit, little bit of drizzle of honey. It's so good. Like one of my favorites in the world. It is National Leon Day. National Leon Day. Do you know what that is? I do. Maybe I should know this, but I don't know this. National Leon Day marks June 25th as 6 months away. I did know this. Just wasn't thinking this morning. National Leon Day marks June 25th as 6 months away from Christmas Day. I posted some pictures yesterday on social media to try to cool you down. Just the thought of snow, snowmen, my kids sledding down the hill. Go check it out if you didn't see it. Mike Witcher TV on Facebook. But just, trying to cool us down. Reminiscing about the big old snowstorms that we had this past year, right? We'll see what happens this next year. Do we have an active year of winter weather again, or does it quiet down? Who knows? Only time will tell. But here we go. Okay, so Leon is Noel spelled backwards, marking the day crafters begin planning their homemade gifts and decorations for the holiday season. I would imagine Felicia is probably on board with this. It can also be the day for those who miss the winter holidays to have a mini winter celebration in June. But I thought it was Christmas in July, right? Either way, we are 6 months away from Christmas. Gosh, that's crazy. This year's flying by. And it's National Catfish Day. Anybody do any noodling? I think it's called canoodling or noodling. Canoodling? I don't know. Maybe I'm saying the wrong words. Who knows? But catfish. Do you like to eat catfish? I don't. Well, I can't say I don't, but I'm not a big fan of catfish. Those are your national holidays here for the day today. Now we'll take you out to Hardin Valley. Show you what it looks like there in Hardin Valley this morning. Beautiful start to the day. Oh, it's so nice outside. I do have some Witcher's pictures to share with you here this morning, so stand by. Let's go to the chat and just see if I can catch up and see if anybody's saying anything. Brian says, good morning. What a great day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. All right, I'll tell you about some Witcher's adventures, see if I have any photos to share with you, see if I can get these up on screen. We got home late. Didn't get home until 10:30 last night. So it was a late day yesterday. Had a chance to get out and enjoy. Here we go. Also share some photos with you. I told you I was going to go to Cummins Falls State Park. Well, that's a very large view of my wife and I. Let's shrink that up a little bit. There's my wife and I. All right, I'll get some better ones here. We've got some great photos here. Hold on. I'll share some of these. Okay, here's a great photo of my kids and my wife. There we go. So if you've never been to Cummins Falls State Park, it's really cool. You have to purchase a ticket. They only allow 200 people to come down to this gorge at a time. And the tickets are only $7. So it's really not a big deal. You hike down the mountain. And I'm going to be posting a social media reel, so you'll be able to see that on the social media here, hopefully today if I have a chance to get it done today. But then you hike all the way up the gorge through the river. It's really fun. There's minnows. The kids are trying to catch crawdads. It's slippery, very slippery. The kids crashed and burned about 10 times. We had several rounds of tears yesterday, but we pushed through. Let's see where else we are. We pushed through. Let me find some other ones. Hold on, stand by. And so the kids, let's see here. I got to be careful. I don't want to post anything my wife doesn't want me to post. All right, here's one. This is cool. These are let me get that bigger. I got to make that bigger for you. So these are the falls. So this is my wife and Kipton inside the falls. So that's a close view of the falls. Let me get a further view of the falls. I know I took another. There we go. Here's another great view. This is what you see. I mean, is this not just absolutely picture perfect gorgeous? My wife the whole time was like, this is just amazing. Absolutely amazing to be out here. And it was so fun. The water was chilly, as you'll see in the reel coming up. Here's a cool wide view. Oh, there we go. There's my son Kipton and I up there. You can see us just little teeny tiny people up there. And it looks like we cleared everybody out and said, hey, get out of here, everybody. We actually went to the very top and see the very powerful part of the falls coming down. I actually stood underneath that. Holy cow, the power of water is insane. Insane. And let's see, what else do we got? Do we have another one to share with you? Here's my son just sitting on a rock. Just sitting on a rock and enjoying it. So it was a lot of fun. We got to eat lunch. We grabbed some lunch before we went up there and really got to enjoy the day. Let's go back to. I have some other Witcher's pictures to share with you this morning. So Lisa Gibson posted a picture of a nice little rainbow from yesterday, kind of like that hazy, ominous looking sky. But look at that, nice little rainbow from Lisa Gibson. Lisa, thanks for sharing that. Here we got a nice little great view of Brian. Here's Brian, rocking his East Tennessee weather hat. There's Brian and his wife. Let's see what Brian says about this. Brian's joining us this morning as well. Me and my daughter, your daughter, Nikki, breast cancer free. Yes, this is amazing. Great news to pass along, Brian. Thanks for sharing that with us this morning. That is incredible. Great stuff. Got great views of some butterflies. So thanks a lot for posting all these to Witcher's Pictures. Again, that's from Felicia. Visitor to my garden yesterday, she says. So if you ever want to post a picture to Witcher's Pictures, you can do so easily through the East Tennessee Weather app. And yes, my friends, this is exactly what we're going to experience once again today. This was sent in by Lee Bliss. He says, it is just hot, hot, hot. That was at 4:47 p.m. Heat index, let's see, what was your heat index value? Temperature of 101? What was your heat index value there? Lee? You probably posted it on our Witcher Weather Watchers group, but great. Cancer-free, that is amazing. You and your daughter, I am absolutely so happy for you, Brian, and her. Please tell her that we are so, so proud of her and so happy for her that she is cancer-free. Happy anniversary, Tammy. It's Tammy's anniversary. Today is your 49th anniversary. Tammy, that is amazing. Congratulations on 49 years. Katrina, have a happy, you have a fabulous, I almost said a happulous fump day. Have a happulous fump day. Shanna Marie says, I love the teaching. Thank you so much. You're absolutely welcome. Jerry likes parchment paper. Aren't those pictures of the falls awesome? It is a little bit, you got to be a little bit more. If you got weak knees, if you're not too stable on your feet, you can't do it. It just wouldn't be possible. But Kentucky Mountain has beautiful things to do. Sharon, email me, mike@easttandweather.com. Let me know of all the things to do in Kentucky Mountain. I like to be adventurous. That's why it's called Witcher's Adventures. All right, 6:27 right now. I know a lot of you got to get off to work. Maybe some of you are just kind of like, all right, Witcher, wrap things up here this morning. I do have to get going as well, though. I do have a meeting here. Got to get going here in about an hour. Going to be heading down to Maryville here this morning to do a little bit of a marketing meeting. So we're going to learn a little bit more about marketing and how really we can keep pushing the East Tennessee Weather platform forward. Got some great partnerships coming on board as well. I think you'll like those coming up. Been working really hard in the background. But thank you so much for joining me this morning for Wake Up with Witcher. It is Wednesday, June 25th, Wednesday, Wake Up with Witcher edition. We'll do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We're going to stay with 6 a.m. this week, okay? Just so you know. We're going to stay 6 a.m. this week. I'll let you know what we do come Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for next week. It's kind of 50-50. I didn't have a chance to post on social media yesterday, but really the thing is if I post on social media, I was thinking about this, it doesn't really do anybody, us as this group, any good, right? Because we are the group, you are the people that join me. You are the folks that join me every day. So it's really ultimately up to you, not social media. Julie's going to be mad at me if I go to 7 o'clock. But if I stay at 6 o'clock, that's a lose-lose, right? It's a lose-lose. But it's not. It's a win-win because we get to stay together and be together every single day. All right, watch out for those storms today. Practice heat safety. Listen to your body. Watch out for Sunburn City if you're going to be out in the lakes or the swimming pool. Sun angle's high. UV index is about 11 today. Extreme humidity, extreme heat. Watch your air conditioners. Don't put them down about 15 to 20 degrees below the ambient air temperature. So you can crank it down now, close your windows and your shades to kind of retain some of that energy through the day today. Don't open the doors. Keep the doors closed. Don't let that hot, muggy air in. It's the only way to do it. All right, my friends, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. See you tomorrow.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.